I am in my mid-30s. Oh God, I am. You can't tell because this outfit is wildly inappropriate. I don't have kids. Why would I change? This is the thing, is that I'm not aging. I like it in the city. The city's awesome. You get a 10% discount if you have student ID, and I'm constantly getting asked if I have student ID, and it's the best because they're like, do you have it? And I'll be like, fuck, I left it in 2003.
I dated unemployed during a pandemic. Like, it's the worst thing. Bro, I would try to be smooth. They'd be like, so, like, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, it's not about what I do. It's about what we do together.
I'm really trying to get over my ex though. I went on a date last week and this guy was like, hey, I like you. Do you want to come over and watch Netflix and chill? I was like, I don't do Netflix and chill dates. I know what American men want. But if you have Amazon Prime, I'm up for casual sex. I did this joke the other day at a show, and after the show, this guy came to me and he was like, hey, I have Amazon Prime. I was like, this is a very old joke. I'm on Disney Plus now.
Hi, I'm Marcus, and I'm the idiot on the comedy circuit. I've asked a group of comedians some questions on how to start and succeed in the world of stand-up comedy. Subscribe to this channel to see what their answers were, as well as to chart my progress on stage, be it crushing or crashing. More likely the latter than the former. You can also follow my progress on social media. I am ION Comedy on Twitter and ION Comedy Circuit on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Here is today's video.
So I would say best advice is just to always be writing, like constantly be writing, constantly be growing in that area. And then of course to perform, because if you're a writer, writing is important. If you're a performer, performing is important. So if you're doing both, to do as much as you can to always be growing and getting better. So writing you can always do no matter if you're getting stage time or not, but to really hone it and get better, you need to be performing. And then the caliber and the how good the stage time is grows as you grow. So in the beginning you're doing open mics and nobody's paying attention and you can't get a real read, and then you're doing bar shows and maybe it's a little bit more of a cult following for that bar show and maybe more people are paying attention. Then you're doing clubs and that has paid people, and so people really are paying attention. Then you're doing theaters and so the quality of the stage time gets better, and hopefully you're growing with it. But as you grow with it, you can get stronger in different ways that you couldn't before. So there's never like a set it and forget it. Like each stage gives you an opportunity to be stronger, better, and just a better performer. And that's never going to stop. And that's why you see people like Chappelle and Chris Rock and Seinfeld and Kevin Hart and whatever drop by shows just to work things out, because it's the best way to work things out is to be in front of a crowd. But this never to always be writing, and it's a muscle. You need to be doing it all the time, and you need to be constantly doing it. And I think that's great advice.
Okay, so the best advice I got, and this is not about the art form of comedy, but it's more about the profession of comedy. Connor Kellicott is the person that gave me the advice. I think that's his last name. I can double check, but his advice is, don't think about what you want to do for a living, think about how you want to live for a living. And I think that's such good advice as a comic, because look, like actually doing stand-up comedy is a blast. Like it's super fun to make people laugh, and especially if it's like a packed room and it's intimate and you're doing well, it's like a super nice high. But you know, there's also the aspect of like being on the road, being alone in a hotel, doing gigs that are nightmarish, doing a gig purely because of the money, but then you're like, oh my God, that would such a bad experience, and like there's just, and then there's also like all the rejection and the bombing, and so you just have to be cautious of like, hey, if this is what you want to get into, just know that you're not just going to experience the end result of like being on stage and making people laugh. That's like, you know, technically, if we think about time-wise, that's maybe like 10% of the actual profession. The other 90% is the, you know, the admin work, the traveling, the waiting, the creating, you know, that kind of stuff.
Just have fun, because we get, as I think it's human tendency to be competitive and run after things. You know, you're like, oh, it's 3 years, oh, 5 years. I want more bookings. I want to be at this stage. I want to be touring. It's all good, but also I got into it because I loved it. I have to take my own time and have fun, because this is going to take so much longer than I mean, it's a very hard skill, so it will take me a lot of years. So I don't want to be doing it so much that I'm like, oh my God, I'm so drained. I can't do it tomorrow anymore, you know? So I think the best advice I got was just have fun bombing sometimes. Don't come back home and be like, oh my God, people hate me. No, it's just the beauty of sometimes a joke not working and you coming home and being like, this has potential. This has to work one day, you know? So just enjoying being on stage, just that people are there to see you, you know? It's fun. So having fun with this skill, because it's gonna take so many years to get better at this, and you still will bomb a lot. So I think, yeah.
And that was today's video. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the notification bell to be prompted when a new video comes out. And don't forget to follow me on social media, ION Comedy on Twitter and ION Comedy Circuit on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Okay, bye-bye.